autism has become a very topical issue. Every now and then, I get somebody telling me that they think that their child is autistic or probably on the spectrum. And what is there anything? I mean, we don't want to, parents shouldn't necessarily become therapists overnight, but is there anything that should make a parent wonder whether their child is on the spectrum? And if you have such a question, just put it in the comments, as I keep saying, and we will address it for you.
Yeah. So some red flags that parents can watch out for autism. And just as you said, parents should not become therapists, but if you observe these things, it is advised to speak to a healthcare professional about it. If your child did not smile or babble as a baby, so in other words, they weren't a very social child, they didn't have a social smile, or perhaps they started babbling and then all of a sudden stopped babbling and just went quiet, that is a red flag. Another red flag is a child that does not acquire first words. And it's almost, that they prefer to point and use gestures to communicate. They do not speak verbally. If they want something, they will pull mommy towards what they want, or they will show mommy what they want. That is also a sign that you can watch out for. Children who have behavior that often, if something in the environment changes or the parent is unable to meet their demand, they have a meltdown, so they will become very upset. They might become a little bit aggressive. If you feel that that kind of a meltdown or a big tantrum the situation did not warrant that big a response.
But who
And it
knows,
happens
they're always throwing tantrums. 2-year-olds, 1.5 to 3, they're always throwing tantrums.
That is very true, Sarah. But if it is a repetitive thing, and you see every time your child has a huge reaction to certain things, change, a lot of people, noisy situations, specific textures or clothing, for example, then it's also time to speak to a healthcare professional. Sometimes children on the spectrum, we call it stimming behavior. They might be children who hum continuously. So you will see if your child just hums throughout the day, or they might make sounds, that are not sounds that you taught them. So they will go, and they do these behaviors continuously. Then it's also time to speak to your healthcare provider. I think as a parent, you will be very intuitive towards your child, and you will realize when what your child is doing does not seem typical to you. And this is what I said in the beginning, being able to distinguish between typical, just delayed development, and disordered development. So being able to recognize, yes, my child is perhaps not speaking yet, but what he is doing is typical. He's reaching his milestones just in a slower way.